quick presentation that we have prepared because I know you all have a lot of questions and we are trying to get ready for fall, and we will just talk about the things that we have been doing in our office, and also to get ready for fall, what are some of the things that maybe you can keep in mind. I'm my co-presenter, Dr. Kelly Ann Schumack. She's from College of Education. Both of us teach for College of Education, and we are both QM reviewers, and we are both been certified to become the QM coaches for our university. We also have Dr. Tim Lewis, who is not in this presentation, but he is also one of the coaches. So having said that, I would actually like to talk a little bit about all the emails that I have been throwing at you. And there was one email that actually went to the deans first, and that was shared with the chairs, and that was only for the fully online instructors. And then I also sent out another email about the same thing, but there were only two things missing in that email, which was the dates, the important dates. However, this request actually came from a lot of faculty members who reached out to me and asked me to give them a deadline to work with. You know, can you please open the courses for students a little before when the class starts? Because how will the students know which classroom they are going to go to, or what will be the design, or what will be the classroom management style, or what model are we going to use, and things like that. So when these kind of questions started coming up, that's when I decided, okay, let me see, because this is my first time doing it, and I will work with IT and on the previous administration. So I called Carolyn, I talked to Joy Clark and all of those people, and try to find out if there is a technical thing that I need to keep in mind, or what are some of the things that might come up. So I do understand summer is your relaxation time. Maybe you are working on a research project. Maybe you are teaching summer courses. But given the circumstances, I felt like we need to do this to help our students. So that is why all of those emails and everything. So coming down to our presentation for today, we are going to talk about quality matters, AUM strategic plan, rubric, aligning your course to QM rubric, self-review process, and peer evaluation. And why are we talking about all of these things? The reason we are talking about these things is because Quality Matters, which is a consortium of universities, have come up with three beautiful things, which is the standard, which has been based on the research that they have done, all of these universities together. The second thing is the peer review process. And the third thing is the professional development. So, and being an institutional member, we have access to all of those things. You, as a faculty member of AUM, can actually create your own account. So what I will do is to actually take you to, sorry, here is the QM site. Here's the QM site. You can go to the membership, create your own login, and if you do not have an account, you just say, no, I'm new here, and create an account, and that's it. When you sign in, you'll see something like this, and I'm not going to go into detail of this because Dr. Schumack is going to be talking about it in a little while. So I was in this slide. So you get professional development. So once you get your own account, you can actually choose what professional development you would like. If you want to get a training on the rubric or being a reviewer or any other development, there are a lot of free webinars that you can choose from, and so forth. So and we can do that. We do use some of their training. We do use some of their training in our training material also. So QM also helped us in the past trying to figure out what kind of training we should give. So the FDI training that some of you have already gone through actually is based on Blackboard training plus QM training. So that is an amalgamation or a combination of both of those training. So if you have gone through it, you should know how to use Blackboard, but also know how to use the standards, the QM standards into your courses. And why am I talking about all of those things? Because of our strategic plan. The strategic plan that was placed in last year, created last year, actually talks about how, right here, it talks about ensure by 2021, at least 50% of all online courses will be reviewed by Quality Matters. And by 2024, all courses will be reviewed. So that's the reason why I'm talking about this. Now, while we are talking about this, how am I going to accomplish this work? I will not be able to accomplish this if you do not support me in this endeavor. So I need your support, each and every faculty, to work with you to do this. So we do have two processes in mind that we want to do. One is a course that is the Beacon process. We call it the Beacon process, Beacon course, where I will work with the dean to identify which programs or courses will go through this course, and it will be reviewed. So it should not take too long. Within a month, you can finish it. You can see that there are only 5 modules. You can probably finish it pretty soon. Or the other process would be the self-review process. I'm not going to go into detail about the self-review process because Dr. Dr. Schumacher is going to talk about it. But in my email to you, you have got about 5 to 6 attachments in the email, and in that it will tell you about how to copy your course, create your test, and things like that. And in that email, you will also see this: AUM tips to fulfill QM standards and the annotated bibliography. I'm sorry, not bibliography, annotated QM standard guide. So having said that, I'm going to ask Dr. Shumak. I would like you to come in and start talking about this a little bit. The AUM tips was actually prepared by my office. And let me just, and she can jump in. Let me just open this up. And the reason why I want to show this to you, and she can talk right after that, this tips sheet is actually made for all 3 modes of courses, face-to-face, hybrid, and online. So you will see the whole standard and then what we are actually looking for in that standard, and she will go in detail and how to accomplish those things, and do you need it for your face-to-face, your hybrid, and your fully online. So if you do this, whether you choose to teach online, whether you choose to teach hybrid, you will figure out what are some of the things that we are looking for and how you could accomplish. So for example, the first one, it talks about the general standards. Design courses is made clear to students and beginning of the course. So how are we going to do that? So you have a start here page. You talk about the course overview, syllabus, and actually, if you go into the SharePoint link, let me take you to our SharePoint. Where's my SharePoint? Have you all been to the SharePoint folder? Uh, so SharePoint, as you all know, it is behind the wall. I like that because that's so easy for us to, so all the Blackboard resources are kept here, Blackboard faculty resources, and you can see number of resources right here, right here. There are videos, how to create maybe a course agreement form, which is like a syllabus agreement form with your students. You can create that. You can, I have also put the tips to fulfill QM standards. It's the same document that I just showed you, the annotated QM standards 6th edition. That's what we are going to be using. Kelly is going to talk about that. FDI session 1, we had some videos, so you can go and look at the videos, how to use those VoiceThread, VoiceOver PowerPoint, Collaborate Ultra, Zoom, which are going to be very useful for your flipped classroom. Models, whether you are asking your students to come half and half, or what you should be using, whether you want to do a synchronous discussion or an asynchronous discussion. So for example, asynchronous discussion, VoiceThread is very useful. Then for synchronous items, we mostly use Zoom. But again, if there is a little difference between Blackboard and Collaborate Ultra, because Collaborate Ultra is within your course, So you can create separate lectures. You can do the simulcast, plus you can also record it at the same time, and it gets recorded straight away into Blackboard. So like when, for example, when we do the Zoom recordings, and this is just a tip, that when you do Zoom recordings, then they either get recorded onto your computer or they get recorded on the web, on the clouds. And it's very difficult to download them. And because they're such a huge file, then you'll have to figure out how you're going to chunk. And then if you want to upload it to Blackboard, so instead of doing that, you can just go ahead and use Blackboard Collaborate Ultra because it's being recorded straight away into your Blackboard class. So that's one of the tips. But I'd go back into this faculty instruction continuity guide, which we prepared starting of March. And this will give you a lot of things to use, whether it's your syllabus, whether what kind of content, what kind of resources, what policies and student resources that you should think of in your syllabus or not, and what are some of the institution-wide tools that we are using, and then there are how to use documents here, and things like that. So you have your own instructional designers that will help you to do hands-on training if you would want that. But we already have a lot of resources for you to use. Okay, so I'm going to stop right here and have Dr. Shumak start talking about the tips and further. Thank you, Dr. Shumak.